Let's say you're sitting in a pitch meeting right now. The agency just showed you a case study with 8x ROS, beautiful deck, three people on the call, everyone nodding. They want a 6 month retainer, rupees 3 lakh per month. We'll get you results like this, client. You're about to sign. Now, let me show you the 5 things they just didn't tell you. Hi, and welcome back to the Upgrowth YouTube channel. And if you are evaluating performance agencies right now, this video will save 15 to 40 lakhs over the next year. And I'm not kidding. So let's just go. Okay, let's start with setting some context. 9 out of 10 performance marketing engagements they fail. Same reason every time. The buyer picks an agency on pitch deck and 3 case study screenshots, signs a 6 month retainer, discovers in month 2 the agency optimizes for ad platform metrics the buyer doesn't care about. By month 4, relationship is adversarial. This is not an agency problem, it's the selection problem. We have audited 40 plus performance marketing engagements over 18 months. The pattern is consistent. Buyers who run structured due diligence got 3 to 5x better outcomes than buyers who hired on gut feel. The same agency can deliver lending card scale results for one client and mediocrity for other entirely because of how the engagement was scoped. To explore case studies, you can visit the resource page and go to the case study tab, and you will find different case studies on performance marketing. So do check them out. Okay, let's come back to the main point here. Now, how to actually evaluate a performance marketing agency in 2026? So, here are some 8 due diligence questions. Some of them include like ROS versus business metrics, the 30-day test structure, red flag patterns, and reference check across verticals. Now, what are the 4 pillars basically? First, what actually matters in 2026, right? 4 pillars: business metric alignment, vertical specific reference check, paid 30-day test engagement, contractual protection against bait and switch staffing. Agencies passing all 4 deliver 2 to 3x better ROS than agencies scoring well on only 2. Agencies that refuses the test engagement almost universally underperform. So what can you do? You start with business metric alignment. Ask the agency to write down in their first discovery call what success looks like for them in 90 days. If they say lower CPL or higher ROS without specifying which leads convert to revenue, they're not selling mechanics, they're selling just the outcomes. And good agencies ask about your sales cycle, unit economics, retention curves before they even quote a price. So do keep that in mind. Now let's start with the 8 due diligence question every buyer should ask. Now these 8 questions will separate the top 20% of agencies from the rest in just a 45-minute call. Now, number one question that you're gonna ask the agency is who will actually run my account day to day and can I talk to them before signing? Now, pitch teams and execution teams are often different people, right? So insist on meeting the actual operator. If they refuse, please walk. Number two question is, can I see a real client report? Yeah, so agencies with mature operations have templated weekly reports connecting ad spend to pipeline or revenue. Agencies without this shows you dashboard of impression and CTR. And trust me, that doesn't work. Number three, what is your ratio to ad spend to agency fees across your client base? Now, this will expose whether they're structured for your spend tier or not. Number four question, show me 2 clients who fired you and why. Extremely important question. Agencies that can't answer this honestly are hiding something. So, my dear, please run. Number five question is, what's your minimum viable campaign test and what will it cost? Now, good agencies, they often offer a 30-day paid test. Bad agency, they will push you to do a 6 month lock in. So make sure you take the 30 days paid test one. Number six question is, how do you handle platform changes like iOS privacy updates or Meta CAPI requirements? Now, this will test their technical depth. Weak agency will blame the platform, whereas strong agency will show you the adaptation playbook. Because someone who's been in the paid marketing niche will definitely know this. Number seven question is, what is your attribution model? Now, if the answer is last click and they don't bring up incremental lift testing, they're running campaigns like it's 2018, and trust me, you don't want to be behind. So please leave. Last question, what happens if we miss your month 3 targets? This will test accountability. Agencies with skin in the game offer something, right? Agencies that fall back on, we are not performance based, transfer all risk to you, and you don't want to take that. So run. Okay, having understood all the eight questions, you can look at the article of performance marketing retainer pricing, flat, percentage, or hybrid. This article is very important if you're actually evaluating and you're very serious about getting a performance marketing agency on board, because this will help you, or if you want to retain the agency, because this gives you the flat percentage or hybrid pricing structure. It covers how the pricing varies over different frameworks and the common questions and the case study. So do explore this article. Meanwhile, let's go back to our evaluation article. Okay, after understanding all the eight questions, let us understand the ROS benchmarks versus business metric benchmarks. Now, ROS is return ad on ad spend. It's a campaign metric. Revenue per marketing source lead is a business metric. Agencies that will conflate these two are very inexperienced, or they're deliberating doing this to obscure the underperformance. So you can just leave. Okay, you ask them the ROS data by segment, not in aggregate. A 3 lakh monthly spend across three platforms should produce three sets of ROS numbers, right? So if an agency gives you a blended ROS number, they're practically hiding something. So do look at these patterns. At Upgrowth also, we track two business metrics alongside ROS for every client: marketing source pipeline value and marketing source closed won revenue. So lending cards 5.7x lead volume with 30% CPL reduction was measured in qualified leads that converted to loan disbursement and then the campaign level ROS. That's the right attitude for a performance marketing evaluation. You can explore the lending card case study by visiting the case study page on our resources section. When you will reach the case study page, you will see a tab of fintech here. So click on fintech. Once fintech comes, you can see the lending card case study, right? How we help them achieve 20% through Google Ads. So do explore it. We have covered every strategy that we did for lending card, what metrics we covered. So do explore this case study. Let us go back to the article. Okay, now I've understood all the eight questions, I've understood the benchmarks. Let us go back to the 30 days test structure. Very important. Any agency not offering a 30-day before test, before signing the retainer, please don't do it. Here's what you do if you have found a good agency that is offering a paid 30 diagnostic test. Now, for paid 30-day diagnostic or a test campaign, cost rupees 50k to 3 lakh depending on scope. Pays for itself in insights if you don't hire the agency, and it exposes explosional operational weaknesses no pitch deck can hide. So, proper 30-day test will have following components. Number one, current state audit of existing campaigns, creative, tracking setup, competitive benchmark, the 14-day live test running one platform with agency built creative against the demo, the documented control. And the report will come with specific actionable recommendation that would form basis of a retainer. So you structure it with a clear go or no go criteria before you start, right? Say if test produces at least 20% better CPL than baseline on like for like audience, we'll move to the 90-day retainer. And if not, we part ways. So let's try keeping it simple, sober, and to the point. Now, what are the reference check that you can do across multiple work verticals? Every agency has a lighthouse case study, right? Now, question is whether they can deliver consistently outside that one vertical or not, right? So, a healthcare D2C agency that keeps showing you the same skincare brand probably hasn't cracked other healthcare verticals, right? So, you ask for reference from three different verticals or three different business model. If you are a B2B SaaS, ask for one B2B SaaS reference. Ask for one B2B SaaS reference, one fintech reference, and one consumer reference. Ignore the case study they volunteer, you cross question them and you ask them. Right now, when you do the reference call, ask three questions. What did the agency deliver that exceeded your expectations? What disappointed you? And would you hire them again for a different vertical or for a larger scope? Make sure you do that. At Upgrowth, we publish client outcomes across fintech, food tech, D2C, because cross vertical delivery is the hardest thing to build. So, agencies that can only show results in one category, they're specialists in that particular category. Fine if you're in that category. If you're not there, keep looking. Now, having said that, let us last look at the red flag patterns. Very important. You have understood the questions, you have understood what to ask, you have understood the checklist. Now, let us also see some red flags, some patterns that will help you identify the right performance marketing agency. And out of these six patterns, if any two also you think this particular agency that I'm thinking to hire has, please run. I'm sorry I've asked you to run so many times, but yeah, it will really help you in saving money. So yeah, let's get into the red flags now. Number one pattern is over promising in the pitch. Okay, guaranteeing specific ROS or lead volume without even understanding your sale process is a big red flag. Number two, refusal to share actual client data. Right, ask to see real client data during pitch. If they have nothing to show, it means no mature operation or they're hiding something. So keep that in mind. Number three, drop down agency staff. Meet three senior people in pitch. Now, no one responds within 24 hours. This will predict execution experience. This is something that will happen when you hire them. So keep that in mind. Number four pattern is the platform metric obsession. Every conversation circles back to CTR, impression, share. A good agency will talk about pipeline value, closed one revenue, CAC payback, LTV ratio, and not just vanity metrics like CTR, impression share, or brand visibility, because we are focusing on revenue here. Number fifth is the rigid structure and scope. We only do X platform, we only do Instagram, we only do YouTube. That's very rigid. When you ask about both, just think of how diversify and how versatile they are in terms of providing services. Lastly, opaque contract terms, 6 month minimum with 90-day notice, auto renewals, setup fee separated from monthly retainers. These protect agency and not you, so do check them out. Now, you can also go through these three articles before wrapping up the blog. Number one is the how to reduce CAC in fintech in India. This is a must read for anyone who is doing paid marketing in house or tracking it, doing it via an agency. You can definitely understand here how you can actually reduce your customer execution cost. So make sure you understand this properly. So go through this article. Next article is about the red flags. Next article is about the red flags. I just explained you the six red flags, right? This covers them in very deep manner. And whenever you have evaluated an agency and you think you're good to go with it and going to sign a contract, make sure you read this article because this one covers the red flags you see in the contracts. So it is a hard earned money, right? Don't just put it anywhere. Do every bit of research that is possible. So go through this article before signing any contract. And lastly, the right model, very essential. Even if everything is correct but the model is not right, it won't work, you will be in loss. So do check this article to understand the comparison between an agency, the freelancer, or the in-house, and see which one is the right fit for you. Let's go back. Yeah, lastly, there are some questions that addresses most of the performance marketing agencies problems these days. Now, having understood all the links, all the articles here, let us understand what is your next move. Now, if you're evaluating three or more performance marketing agency right now, worst thing you can do is hire based on pitch deck energy. If anything, this article clearly tells you is to not hire anyone on pitch. See, by just seeing their pitch, don't do it. What is the best approach? Do a 30-day diagnostic with one of your shortlisted agency. We at Upgrowth also offer a 30-day trial diagnostic, so you can book a 30-day performance marketing diagnostic here by clicking the link, and someone from our team will get in touch with you. So make sure to save yourself from bad hire. And I hope this article helped you in terms of how to evaluate a performance marketing agency. and subscribe for more such deep dives. We do it every now and then on our YouTube channel. So subscribe to our channel and comment with how many agencies you have currently evaluating. Let's talk in the comments, and thank you for watching and giving your time. See you in